I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio, as well as so many different other places. What's up, people? How you doing? It is a great day, and I'm so very excited to be here. Listen, okay? So everybody keeps asking me, how can you run a company? And most of all, how do you run a successful record label? Well, today we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about that with Omar Ali. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Respect. All is well. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Omar. So, Omar, tell us about yourself. I really want people to understand where you're coming from and how your experience is going to set the precept for this interview today.
Well, to put it simply, I've been in this business literally 45 plus years. Since I was 6 years old. My mother, father, and uncle are the members of the '70s funk group, the Family Tree. My father made me a part of the group in 1976, traveling on the road with old school legends such as Millie Jackson, Joe Tech, the Floaters, Commodores, Earth, Wind and Fire. The list goes on and on. And I often say, I don't know whether or not my father was cheap or if he was a mad genius, because he made me a part of the group, introduced me to the business at such a young age, and the rest is history. From that point, I started in the early '80s. I had my own singing group in Jacksonville, Florida, where I'm from, and we had a lot of local success and regional success. Also opening up for the New York Fresh Fest in its early stages. So we were always on the road for like 3 years straight with Houdini, Run DMC, Beastie Boys, LL. I mean, the list is crazy. So I was groomed and pretty much raised by legends in the business. I've promoted and performed with icons such as Public Enemy. I've got my first record deal when I was 16 with Foresight Records down in Fort Lauderdale. My second record deal with Polygram in 1989. Um, in 1992, I had the fortune of meeting and going on tour for 3 months with my brother, my friend, my outlaw comrade, Mr. Tupac Shakur. And it was beautiful. And he's actually the one who gave me my tag of the Southern Outlaw. And if you look at my arm, if you can see it, he and I have the same outlaw tattoo. And I'm an original member of the Outlaws before the Outlaws were concepted. So I mean, it's been a beautiful ride. And recently, I say 2014, I was managing my brother, Sirius Penny, and met the company of OG Mac Drama on his radio show. And unbeknownst to me, after the interview, he was messaging me on Twitter. I was messaging him because I wanted to transition from manager to A&R, and he was already looking at me to be an A&R. So I mean, it kind of fit, and I mean, and that's what it is. I became the A&R for the whole Southeast region of 1017 Brick Squad, and then a year later, I became president. But that was already in the plan between the quote unquote higher powers, for me to be the president of the label and moving it into a new direction. And here I am. I resigned in 2000. I was president from 2015 to 2019, going into 20.
Wow.
And here I am. I just love it, and life is great.
I hear you. I hear you. So, with all that experience, let's back up a little bit because a lot of people are confused as to what a record label is in this day and age. I mean, a lot of us know about the older formats and the older business format and schedules of the older way that it used to be with the record
Right.
labels. But that has so changed. That is not. It is not the way it
Everything
is
is
now.
flipped upside down.
Yes, yes. So what do you say? First of all, let's define what it is now in comparison to what it used to be then.
Okay. One of the biggest things I see as far as the difference in quote unquote old school, new school practice of a record label is the implementing of the A&R. A&R simply means artist and repertoire. And what an A&R does is basically a scout goes out, finds talent, develops. Now, be careful of that word. Develops talent um, for stage interviews, the public, everything, and then works with that artist in what's called artist development. Now, the practice of artist development is a long and gone practice in record labels today. Period. Period. So artist development, like I give a good example with my uncles with the Temptations, right? That process was long. They have vocal training, artist development. They had choreography, artist development. They had interviews, artist development. They had presentation, artist development. That was a part of the practice. When you're talking about getting into hip hop and rappers and this and the other, you have to deal with practice, practice, practice. There's a saying. People always say that practice makes perfect. I've never been a believer of that. I believe that perfect practice makes perfect because anyone can practice. That doesn't mean that they're necessarily doing it right. So to me, perfect practice makes perfect. So if you're a hip hop artist, back in the day, when I first got my record deal with Foresight Records and Fort Lauderdale, and Billy Hines, who was one of my very first mentors. When we were in the studio, we worked on projection, how we sounded. We worked on, and then we worked on, like I say, the whole interview process because interviews can be tricky. you know, Interviews can be tricky. We worked on, okay, what are you going to wear for this show? What are you going to wear when you're out in public, going to the grocery store? Because image is everything. Once you start making a name for yourself and people see you, they want to see the star image. If you saying you're a star, but you dress like Peanut on the corner, it doesn't mean the same, and that mystique is gone. So you have to maintain your image. So to me, that's the biggest thing um, when it comes to the difference between old school record labels and new school record labels is artist development. These days, record labels they hear something that may sound a little good to them that they think they can work. When I call work, I mean structure and manufacture for the people. Put out, get a hit, get some money, throw the artist away. It's not about longevity today, and that's my biggest thing.
Mm.
The artist development side of things.
Wow. Wow. So, I mean, okay, so let's run with that real quick because I really want to know. Artist development to me is essential. Like you said, it's how do you dress? How do you hide? If you are Cardi B, Cardi B, I saw her in a video on Instagram. She had on a do-rag on her head. She had on just regular, I think, spandex and a t-shirt, and she went to Coach to go buy something. She did not look like Cardi B. She just looked like a regular person with a so how do you camouflage yourself? How do you blend in? And then how do you stick out? You know, these things are artist development. And you're right. Where can people go today to learn this? I have an idea, but I'm not the expert. You are. And I don't want to say anything because I've been wrong. I've been wrong before. So, where can people go to actually learn this now in this day and age? Because I think it's a lost art.
What artist development?
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying where can they go to learn artist development?
Yes. I mean, now I know. Don't laugh at me. Don't do that because it is. I don't. I have an idea, but they're so broke. It's so broken. It's so broken that if you learn one bit, you got to search for the other.
Hey, understand. Looking for artist development is looking for the Loch Ness monster. I'm just saying. Is it Bigfoot? Right? It's like, because there's very few people today that still believes in artist development. When you talk about artist development, you have to find someone that comes from the school of artist development, someone that comes from that era. If you talking about, listen, look straight up. If you talking about 95, 7, 8 going up, you dead. You dead in the water. In order to find someone that truly knows artist development, you got to find someone. You got to find someone that's an OG, triple OG that comes from the 70s, the 80s, early 90s. That hell, put like this right here. If you didn't get a dance move right in a dance group, or if your outfit didn't look presentable to that A&R that was giving you that artist development, you didn't go on stage until you got that outfit right. Okay? Understand that. You didn't go on stage. You didn't perform. You didn't do this, that, and the other. Today, record labels just say, hey, we gonna make your song a hit. Go out there looking however you want to. And that's a no-no. That's a no-no. Somebody told me this. Well, I've been hearing this phrase for the last few months. I'm old school, so I'm like, what the hell is that? Gaslighting. That's gaslighting. Hey, just letting them go out there do what they want to do, and whatever happens, happens. Come on, man. That's not. Record labels have to be responsible and accountable for their artists. It's just like children. Parents are supposed to be responsible and accountable for their children. Def Jam was accountable for LL, Run DMC, Beastie Boys, and so many others. Motown was responsible for their children. The Temptations, Four Tops, the Vandellas, Supremes. They was responsible for them, and it showed in their character, in their image, in their stage presentation, in the way they spoke, in every aspect. But record labels today don't care. They don't care.
Okay. So what I'm seeing is there's a split. There's like a ocean between the indie artist and the artist that has made it, where they can hire someone for their outfits, for their their image, for their publicity, things like that. But when you're an indie artist, that is gone. It's like you said, just go ahead, wherever, whatever you want to wear. But you have the bigger artists that understand the value and understand the image, and they hire people to do that for them now. So has it transferred over to, I need to do this for myself now?
Well, I mean that's the whole thing. That when you say you're independent, when you're independent, that means okay. I'm doing this by myself, but that doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want to, however you want to, because it always baffles me. Like for real, it always baffles me that independent artists or young artists, this, that, and other, they do things, say things, dress a certain way, and then with this social media age, they get so much backlash for what they said or how they looked. They want to get mad.
Hmm.
They don't add up. How you gonna get mad at something that you did yourself? You get what I'm saying? So you have to take more responsibility for self. And the thing about young artists today is that a lot of them don't. They don't research the business. They feel like they can just jump in. Somebody told, hey, mama, grandma, peanut, Junebug, Auntie Joyce around the corner, Medea, everybody told them, hey, your song is hot. Your song is hot. So they get this puffed up egotistical thing about them that, okay, I'm hot now. I can do this, that, and the other without studying the business, and then get discouraged when things don't happen the way they plan. Because this music industry is not for the weak of heart. It is not for the weak. This industry is full of manipulators and vultures.
Mm.
It's and if you don't know how to navigate, you will get eaten up. Period. So you have to know how to navigate, and they don't study or research the actual business. There's a reason why the music business is called the business of music. It's a business.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Period.
Definitely
Period.
is.
Yeah.
Definitely
So
is.
so in order to properly get A&R, you have to hire someone that knows artist development. I mean, if you're looking for proper artist development, you have to hire someone that knows true, real artist development, not someone that says they know artist development. Because a lot of people say a lot of things, but don't mean what the hell they say. Don't know. They just heard about it and might have looked it up on the computer or looked up on social media, but they don't know. They haven't experienced Jack. Come on, man. They haven't experienced Jack. They haven't gone through it. Hey, I watched because I ear hustled. Like I say, when I was on tour with the Fresh Fest, I ear hustled the business. Literally ear hustled the business from Uncle Russ, Russell Simmons, Rick Rubin, Ricky Walker, and so many countless others when they was talking. I was that kid. I was that quiet kid that stayed close but kept quiet because I wanted to hear what they was talking about. So I ear hustled this business from them, and I heard a lot of things
Mm.
and was witness and privy to a lot of things that made me say, "Oh, that's what's going on when I see artists do and say certain things." So you have to understand the business. This business is not for the weak. It is
It
not.
definitely isn't. It definitely isn't. It definitely isn't. So, running a successful record label today, what do you
Uh-huh.
suggest? Since the model has changed so much, since a lot of the things that used to be in the hands of the record labels is now in the hands of the artists themselves, being the indie artists, and it's so hard to find the people that you need nowadays. What is it that we need to be doing? What is it that we need to be doing?
Well, there's some simple steps. I mean, because although the model has changed, although the model has changed, the the blueprint, the foundation is still the same. It might be slightly modified, but it's still the same, yeah.
Mm,
And you have to learn to flow with that, but you have to be conscious enough to see it. But if you just decide, oh, I'm gonna start a record label. Hey, hold on. Hey, like so many do. Oh, I think I'm gonna start a record label. And just jump in, find somebody that they think can rap, somebody that they think sounds good. I'm gonna start a record label. But okay, but that's why most of them fail, or that's why most of them don't have any respect or credibility in the industry because they don't know what they're doing. They just moving all around, just like a newborn baby, just like a baby, just all over the place, just making noise, wah, 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 and getting nowhere, just flipping and flopping all over the place. You have to know this business in order to make strides. And I've always had some points, and I actually got the points from Uncle Russell Simmons, and how to start and run a successful record label. I have the points. Do you want to hear the points?
I definitely want to hear the point. Yes. Ask me
Okay.
that.
And
What the
the first thing for all the for all the up and comers that are listening, for all the up and comers that are listening, for anybody that's interested in running a record label, it's simple but complex at the same time. Period. First off, first off, in running a label, you need a name. Okay, you need a name. Let's get the name together, but it has to be. You can't just say, well, okay, I'm gonna name it. Hey, I'm gonna name it Ramen Noodle Record Label. Nobody care about that. It has to be a name that's gonna appeal. It either needs to appeal or shock. Appeal or shock. For instance, back in the 80s, having a record label called Def Jam appealed. Why? Because back in the 80s, that was our lingo. That was our slang. Man, you funky fresh, bro. You deaf. You this that. So that appealed to us. So having a record label called Def Jam was right on time.
Oh yeah.
Having a record label called Brick Squad, having a record label called Brick Squad was like, what? What is that? The squad, that's brick. That means that squad is tight. That means that squad is untouchable and almighty, invincible,
I
incredible.
have a suggestion. I have a suggestion. Gaslighting.
Oh my gosh. Really? That was you doing? Okay.
I'm just playing around. But I mean, you said something relevant for today. I mean, that is big time relevant today.
Yeah. And so when you say when you after you pick that name for the label, and this is before all the intricate stuff gets implemented. My second point, that was the first point, find a name. The second point would be you have to you have to address your goals.
Mm-hmm.
What is your goal for the label? What is your goal? Is it and you have to pick certain artists that's going to um attribute or contribute to those goals. If you're a country, it needs to be a country artist. If you want to be a hip hop label, it needs to be that. Is that you can't just be all over the place with your goals. You have to target your goals, hone in on it, boom, and ride with it. Period. You have to address your goals. That's number two. Number three, find your audience. Find your audience.
I'm sorry, that's hard because that takes so much money and so much time that most people don't even realize how much time that they have to put in to find their audience. It's not the
Hey,
family members, it's not your neighbors. Okay, I'm just what I'm saying. I'm talking about your audience, not your
building a
supporters.
building a record label is not like popping popcorn.
No, it's not.
So you have to put in you have to do your due diligence. You have to put in your time. You have to do your research. Find it. If it's 18 to 31 or 18 to 25, okay, then boom. Wherever you go, you have to go to the college radio stations. You have to go to the parties. You have to do this, that, and other. Put in that work. If it's 25 or if it's 30 to 40, depending on the genre of music, then you have to do that. Hell, if it's 12 to 18, once again, depending on the artist. If it's 12 to 18, then you have to do some back to school drives. You have to do some some school things for that age group. So you have to target your audience. And yes, it's very tedious. It's very tedious, but in order to be successful, you have to put in the work. And that's just it. To be successful, you have to put in the work. And the work is not the work is not always rainbows and unicorns, yeah. I'm just saying.
We know that. Okay, so what's the next point? Finding your
Okay.
audience, setting your goal, getting that name. What's next?
Once you get the name and everything set up, you have to say, okay, where is this artist? You have to find that artist with the it factor.
I'm done. Because there's so many
You have
different
to,
artists out there, but not everybody
hey,
that thinks they have the it factor has the it factor.
but
They have a
I'm gonna
I
tell
don't
you
know what
something.
that is factor, but they don't have the it factor. Okay, I'm saying.
You have to find someone with that it factor. And I always go back. I refer to my age, right? I refer to my age. My age of music. Okay, there was a reason. There was a reason why Russell signed LL. That was a reason. I'm not even gonna say Run DMC because that was a given because that was his brother. Run is Russell's brother. So that was a given, and he was good. He was real dope. So that was a given. But there was a reason why he signed LL to the label because LL had that it factor. Okay, when my cousin and I, Quad Master Uno, when we got our first record deal with Foresight Records, I believe in the it factor. So what we did, we walked in, we was all nice and mannerable. Hey, how you doing, sir? It's a pleasure to meet you. And this, that, and the other. And then, I mean, we had the big boom box. When he said, and this is a true story, when he said, okay, show me what y'all got. We turned on the boom box and I jumped on his desk and was in his face. Right? And he was like, whoa. He signed us on the spot because not only was the music, dope, and we talking about Florida music. So if anybody knows about music, the Florida music scene at that time, it was about booty music. It was about women. It was about sunshine. It was about
Booty.
almost no clothes. It was about booty. It was about bending over. It was about all the good stuff in life that matters, right? But anyway, right? But it wasn't just about the music. He was impressed by our presentation. Once again, I'm gonna go backward. Image is everything. So the fact that I jumped up on the desk, I kicked all his papers off the desk, and I was just in his face like, what? We great and we know it. Sign the papers. Give me my check. That was the first record deal.
Well,
That was the first record deal. So that artist with that it factor, and it's numerous. Pac, Public Enemy, Big Daddy Kane, I can even say Drake, Lil Wayne. These are ones with the it factor. Something that's different. What's called generational talents that takes the movement to another level. That's generational talent. That's what they call it.
hmm
So you have to find that artist with the it factor. My next point would be managing. Now we getting a little deep here. Managing the label's money. Managing the labels and the artist royalties. We are in the trenches now because you can play with me about a lot of things, and I play about a lot of things. I don't play about my cheddar. I don't play about that cheese. Now I play about a lot of things, you know, but I don't play about that bag. Period. So you have to find someone that when you're managing royalties, You have to find someone that is credible in managing royalties, in managing money. You have to find someone that when they say the artist is going to make a certain amount, that artist gets paid a certain amount. I'm gonna read you something, right? The accounting of an artist's royalties can be an intimidating process, but the more you prepare and create a system for yourself, the more successful you will be at accurately keeping records. The most common split of an indie community is 50-50. We're talking about indie, right? Paying an artist in such a way that is reliable and transparent is more important than how often you pay them. Having said that, most labels report their royalties quarterly. If an artist is very popular and earning a lot of money, you may want to consider reporting monthly. Pay the artist what they're worth. Don't play with people money. If you're trying to start a label, don't play with people money. If you're listening to this broadcast and you want to start a label, don't play with people money. Period.
Right.
Perfect example. TLC. Don't play with people money. That's I'm just saying. Hey, I got three words. Hey, I got three words for you. TLC. Don't play with people money out there.
I don't know if they know what happened, but you guys gonna have to go back in time and check that out for yourself because that was interesting. That was very interesting.
Very.
Oh yeah.
So moving on. The next point, and I think that in this day and age is very important, right? You need to find a credible, viable, workable, however you want to put it, a digital distributor. You know, um, if you're talking about digital platforms, if you're talking about iTunes, Spotify, Title, places like that, it's easier today. But you have to be careful because a lot of these digital distributors, they do just that, and a lot of people don't understand that these distributors, they're actually the gatekeepers. They're the gatekeepers of old and mostly gone, but these digital distribution companies have become more, democratized. Having said that, you can't upload directly to these digital platforms. You need to upload through a digital aggregator like CD Baby, DistroKid, TuneCore. Now, there was a time where I believed in those that I just mentioned, and these are just notes that I made, right? But you have so many more research. You have so many more that you don't have to pay for, and that's going to give you more if you have to pay for. But I implore you to do your research. And I'm gonna tell everybody this. Tell everybody this. And I don't give out ancient Chinese secrets very often. But if you can get a distribution deal with Empire, Empire right now is leading the charge. Leading the charge. Because not only is Empire distribution free, but you got to work to get on Empire. Not only is it free to get on Empire, but Empire works with you. They're going to make sure you have distribution not just nationally, but if the song is really hot, they're going to push you internationally. Now, for those that don't know, the international market is the ultimate market. Why? Because people overseas, when you're talking about Asia, Europe, Africa, they appreciate American music, American artists. No, it doesn't matter what the genre. they appreciate American music much more than people in America.
Yeah.
Make that make sense. A lot of artists, like especially like the old school artists, hell, Josephine Baker, Paul Robeson, hell, even my dude Lenny Kravitz, and hundreds other. They go overseas to Europe. They play concerts and tours in Europe before they'll play a tour and a concert in America because the appreciation
The
is
appreciation
much
is
deeper.
it's
Huh?
amazing.
Say it again.
It's amazing. If you can get over there, it is amazing.
It is. It's beautiful. And the love, man, the love is amazing. The love is crazy in Europe and Asia. And you would think, and the crazy thing about it, when you go to these different countries, yes, it's a different country, but you automatically thinking, okay, well, I'm going over here to play for these people. They know the music, but they don't understand what I'm saying. But when you get on stage and people are singing, back that thing up in the audience, and you got 20,000 people saying that. What in the world is going on? It's crazy. Hell, even in the 50s and the 60s, when Muddy Waters had his run and the whole Chess Records family dissolved, Muddy Waters went overseas to London because he had met the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones had come through the studio. And the matter of fact, the Rolling Stones even named their group off of one of Muddy Waters, who is, if you don't know who Muddy Waters is,
I
Muddy
hear
Waters, Muddy Waters, not you, I know you. I know you know, right? But for those that don't know, Muddy Waters was one of the greatest blues players of all time.
Oh, yeah.
So when Muddy Waters, when his career started going down in America, he went to London because the Rolling Stones said, "Hey, we love you." Like I said, the Rolling Stones named their group behind one of Muddy Waters' most popular songs, Rolling Stone. So they had a lot of honor and appreciation and value for him. So when they realized that, okay, America is not treating you like you're supposed to be treated as an icon, come on over here. And when he went to London and played Europe, he made so much money, more than he had ever made in America. And his legacy was cemented because of that.
Yeah.
So artists, so artists, know who you're dealing with. A lot of artists like this, they like Spotify. They like Spotify. They like doing this. And Spotify is good. But Spotify doesn't get you where you need to be. It's just a distributor. So, last thing, once you find the right distributor, ladies and gentlemen that want to be in the music business, you need proper promo and marketing. Hold on, I'm gonna say it again. Let me rewind. Let me rewind. A distribution company does not market or promote your music. Please stop telling people that, because that is not true. Please stop telling people that. A distribution company like iTunes and Spotify and all that, they do not market and promote your music. They do exactly what their title says: distribute. So you need to find a viable, credible marketing and promotion person to help guide you and push you to where you think you're supposed to be. To where you think you're supposed to be, or if your song is hot, where you should be. Now, there's a lot of marketing and promotion people out there, and I know a few, like very good people, that can get you where you need to be, but you need to do your research. Register your music. I'm gonna throw this. This is a bonus. This is a bonus. Register your music. Y'all, people always talking about getting paid. They talking about running a record label. They talking about running a record label. I'm gonna run this record label, this, that, and the other. But they might have two, three, five artists on the label, but their music is not registered. You know what that means? That's money on the table that they're missing. If you don't register your music, people can play your music anywhere and you don't get paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
If they play, look, man, look, I'm a realist. I'm a realist. If they play your music, if they play your music in the damn elevator, that's a check. If they play your music in the elevator, that's a check. They play your music in the club, that's a check. They play your music definitely on the radio, that's a check. But if your music is not registered, you get nothing. And you wonder why you broke. You're a record label, but you broke. Because you didn't take care of your artists. You didn't take care of your children. You wasn't responsible, accountable for your children. Register your music. Now, people seem to think, people seem to think that BMI and ASCAP is registering your music. Stop lying to people. Stop lying. They just keep track of your music. BMI, ASCAP, CSAC, that's not registering your music. If you want to register your music properly, then you need to research that. I'm not going to tell you. You need to research that. Google it. This is the day and age. Registering music. And you'll be surprised how many sites come up to register your music the right way. I want people to get paid. When I was the hey, I want people to get paid. When I was the president of 1017 Brick Squad, when I was hell, when I was a manager before that, when I was the A&R, when I was the president, all I wanted was my people to get paid. And to me, I'm a firm believer that a little bit of something is a whole lot of nothing. That's copywritten. That's copywritten and patent. You can't use that, steal that, whatever. Whoever listening out here, right? But a little bit of a little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. So if you get a check for $50, $100, let's say 200, that's 200 more than your ass had an hour before that. So that means that if you have proper promotion and marketing, that 200 can blossom into 2 grand. That 2 grand can blossom into 200K. That 200K can blossom into 5 mil if you have someone that's on your team that's gonna look out for you. If not, hey, if not, you'll be singing it. You'll be singing and rapping at the local, you know what I'm saying, at the local pub, at the local dive bar, at the local pool hall with Junebug, Peanut, and your auntie Susu watching the football game. You know, while everybody eating on cheeseburgers and curly fries. Come on, man, you gotta do better. I'm just saying. If you want to run a record label, do your research, people. Please.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Take it. Go ahead.
I hear you. Yo, I hear you. You know, that's a lot of information, and that is just the tip of the iceberg.
That's just the tip. That's just the tip.
That's just the very tip. That's like that much.
But that's the foundation, though. That's the foundation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. 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 Wow. Wow. That is a lot to take in. I know a lot of people don't know what you just said because they haven't really comprehended it yet. So if you haven't really comprehended what he said, you need to go back. The timestamps are in the description box below, so that way you can go down there and find out what it is and what the tips are that Omar Ali had told you about. Let me tell you something. You know, running a successful any kind of business means that you know what you're doing. So just like Omar said, go Google it. You're gonna find out that there's a lot more to it than just what he said. But that what he said will get you started, definitely. Omar, what are you doing today?
Well, today I'm just, since I resigned, I'm basically just focusing on my other businesses. I've been doing a lot of real estate lately. Buying up land, buying property, buying houses, um, keeping some, flipping them. You know, buying low, selling high. It's all about the cheddar.
Yeah.
Um, working on my shoe brand, which is called Exquisite. Working on setting up some other business. I have some boutiques that myself and my significant others, my partners, are putting together, and we're just trying to, like I say, just trying to do some things other than the music
Hmm.
for right now, because I've been in the music business all my life, and I needed a break. Like I say, been in the music business since I was 6 years old. So I felt like I needed a break once my newest son was born a few years ago. And I have to say I'm more at peace, and I'm happier than I've ever been in my life without the music in my ears. Now, now, is it still calling me? Of course, because it's in my blood. I was born great, into greatness. So the music is in my blood, and it always will be. But I felt I needed a break. But like I said earlier, I'm looking to get back into the music business. Interested. I'm trying to get back. I want to get back. Yes, it's calling me, but I will not go back unless it's the right situation. Like I've had some upstart record labels hit me up. I've had some recognized historical legendary record labels hit me up, but the situation just wasn't right. They wanted me to come back, and I mean, I'm cool. I don't necessarily have to come back to a record label as a president, because that's not me. I love the trenches. I'll come back as an executive A&R if the situation was right, because I simply love this business. I love working with artists in the trenches, but the situation would have to be right. But I was just speaking to someone the other day about this, that if I got back into the business as a manager, that artist would have to have that total it factor that I was speaking about earlier. I would have to see this artist and want to get naked for this artist to be successful. Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to strip? What you want me to do? How much is gonna take? I mean, I get on the phone right now. Okay, you need me to call Interscope? You need me to call Def Jam? You need me to call this? You need me to call that? What? I call my sister. My sister is one of the most powerful women in the business. Tell me what you want me to do. I need that kind of artist. Yeah, that artist that I'll go in my bank account. If that artist is struggling with rent, car note, needs some new shoes, hair done. What they say, hair did, hair done. Whatever. What you need. I need that kind of artist that I go in my safe at the house, my safe, and make sure this artist has what he or she needs. I need that type of artist.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. That's the only way I'm coming back
It's
into the industry as a manager. I'm just saying.
yeah. A lot of people don't realize how much work it takes to be that it artist. They think they
Woo,
are, but
Lord.
they're really not. And they take it
Cause
pretty
June,
hard,
cause Junebug and Peanut told them they was hot.
but they're not. And that's where A&R comes in. That's also where artist development comes in, and they just don't understand.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of this generation is what I call a microwave generation,
Mhm.
because they've seen other artists have microwave success, but it wasn't really microwave success.
Thank you.
It
Thank
looked that
you.
way. It
Thank you.
looked that way. Like, for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. Justin Bieber. People think that because Justin Bieber was young, that he had microwave success. He didn't. He was on YouTube, but that little boy was grinding. His parents had him grinding. It just looked like overnight success because the powers that be found him and boom, made him a star overnight. But he didn't become a star overnight because he was grinding years before that, even at a young age.
Wow.
Lady Gaga, people think she had microwave success because Vince found her on YouTube and boom, made her an overnight success. But she was grinding for years. I'm talking about and people was booing her. People was booing her, talking about her on YouTube. I'm talking about bad comments, not the good stuff.
Hmm.
And more notably, Drake.
Yeah.
Drake like to say, yeah, I did it without this, that, and the other. I didn't have any help. But that's just for the public. That's just for the public. But if you know about Drake, you know that hell, he was on Nickelodeon before that. He was already grinding.
Mm-hmm.
He was on YouTube. He was on YouTube grinding before Lil Wayne snatched him up. He
Mm-hmm.
didn't have overnight success. It just seemed like it because he had already done his work.
Yeah.
Period. He had already put in his work. He had already made the right connections. He had the orbit and the universe, the stars, the quasars, the moon, the whole stratosphere
Yeah, that
had
all
already
had
been
lined up for him already.
it had
He had
already
already
been
yeah.
aligned for him. So that by the time he got with Cash Money and Young Money, boom, he hit the ground running and never looked back.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't popcorn success. It wasn't microwave success.
Nope.
He had already done the
Not
work.
from
But a lot of artists don't see that. They don't know that. They don't know the research. They just know what he says in his music, and they just they just know they know what they don't know.
Yeah.
But so they look at that and they think that they can imitate that because the old man at the Piggly Wiggly said that song sounded good to him. You, because mama's auntie cousin that does Sister Sarah's hair said, "Ooh, can I get a copy of that song to play in my car?" Come on, man, it don't work like
Yeah.
that. So they run with that without doing the work, without putting in the work.
Yeah.
If you're trying to start a record label, people, if you want a successful record label, put in the work. Please put in the work. That's the only way it's going to work. If you put in the work. I wish everyone success. I want to see Hey, I'm the type of person I want to see everyone win because there's enough money out here for everybody to get something. But if
Right.
you don't put in the work, if you don't put in the work and it doesn't turn out right, I don't want to hear that boo hoo that boo hoo oh woe me crap about it didn't work. You didn't put in the work. If it didn't work, you didn't put in the work.
That's
Period.
right. That's right.
Period.
Wow. Well, Omar,
So
thank
that's
you
why
so much.
that's why I'm thankful for platforms like what you have. I'm thankful for platforms like you and people like you and what you have and what you're doing and what you've been doing for years to give people a platform to share their knowledge, their wisdom, and to assist other people to move forward. If they take it, if they take it, it's all good and they can move forward. If they don't take it, it's nobody's fault but their own.
That's right. And and like you said, these platforms here, like mine, shoot, I got here the beginning of podcasting. Then we, moved on to the bigger things like Roku, Amazon Fire, Comcast. Um, so I'm behind
Right?
the scenes more than I am in front. But you're right. A lot of people don't see. the work that you do behind the scenes, the work that you have done all along. They don't
Right.
realize that you've been here years,
Right.
years,
They don't see the word.
grinding.
They don't see
Oh,
the word. Ooh, that's crazy.
they don't see the work. Look at Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars has been out way before his very first song that we ever know.
Right.
What was it? Today I don't want to do anything. I just want to lay in bed. That song, that was not his
Yeah.
first song.
That was
And
not.
literally speaking, that song took a year before it even broke into the major. It was a
Exactly.
year. It was out a year, I think almost 2 years, if I'm not
They
mistaken.
was shopping.
It was
They
shop
was
and
shopping
shop
that
and
song.
shop and shop and shop. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know before Bruno Mars got his record deal with when he got his record deal with his label that he's with now. Jermaine Dupri of So So Def actually turned down Bruno Mars because Bruno wanted to be with So So Def because he's a fan of So So Def and all the artists that's on there. He's a fan of Jermaine, and Jermaine said, "Nah, man, nah, man." And then look what happened.
Yep.
But
And
everything
he
happened
told me
for a
about
reason,
his
though.
dad for many years. I
Huh?
remember him doing a documentary where he was homeless with his father for many years, and he takes you back to the place where he was living. And
Hmm.
a lot of people don't realize, man. It doesn't matter what you have; it's where you're going that matters.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, look, man. Anything can happen in the blink of an eye.
Hmm.
But you just have to be prepared. And I tell people this all the time, whether it's artists, whether it's other labels, whether it's managers, hell, my own kids. I tell people all the time, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. That success is when time, when preparation and opportunity come together. That's what success is. When preparation and opportunity come together. That is the meaning of success. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
There you go. Well, I think that's a
If somebody calls me right now,
go ahead.
because although go ahead.
I said I think that's a good. I think that's a great way to put it. It's like okay, so a lot of people aren't ready to begin with, and they think they are, but they haven't dotted their I's and crossed their T's.
Right.
You gotta be ready all the time. Never know who you're
Well,
gonna meet in the street. You don't know.
you never know who you're going to meet. I have people. I'm gonna show you something. Show you something. And this is the egotistical side of not just artists, but especially young artists. I have people that have come to me. Will you listen to my music? Please listen to my music. Okay. And they'll tell me, yeah, um, my music has been on this radio station, that radio station. I've done this show, that show. They'll tell me this, that, and the other as they want me to listen to their music because they want me to critique their music. Hey, I want you to listen to this. Tell me what you think. Now, hold on now. When you say that to me, I want you to tell me what you think. Then you have to be good for the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because I come from an era where music is music. It's real music. It's none of this. It's none of this pop up shop. Hey, pop up shop. I do and say what I want to. Music. You need to have something. You need to have something in that music. And they'll give me that music, and then I'll send them back some red lines. I'll send them back some red lines in that email. This, I'll make an asterisk. Okay, you need to work on this, that, and the other. Matter of fact, who did your recording? Your recording is trash. Whoever that engineer is, you need to find someone else. Where'd you get that beat from? This, that, and the other. And I'll break down everything for them. Ooh, flatline. I won't hear from them ever again.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason why a lot of artists haven't put out any music, or they take such a long time to put out their music because they're looking for that thing. They're looking for the right sound, the right music, the right everything. And
Right, of course.
I know exactly what you mean.
You have to feel it.
Yeah.
You have to feel it. If you're a true artist, you'll know the song or the music or the beat when you feel it. Not when you hear it, but when you feel it. The most amazing thing to me was um I was in New York on business, and I got invited to go to the studio, um where Jay-Z was recording. Jay-Z, Pharrell, they had just signed Kanye, and I'll never forget it. I'm in the studio, and Jay was like, I'm talking about, oh my gosh, it was so many producers in there. They were just feeding him beats, and he was like, okay, next, okay, I like that, next. But then every time a beat came on that he was really feeling it, you see that neck, he like, woo, and that face. You know it. You gotta do the face, y'all. Yeah, you gotta do the face. When you feel it, you gotta
Yeah,
do the
just
face.
say
You
that
like,
next time, be like,
oh wait, yeah. You,
"Oh,
you get what I'm saying? And it makes you want to move, and then your mind start clicking. It don't just resonate in your soul. Your mind start clicking because you can hear that song coming out. You can hear that. You can hear that. You can hear
speaking to
you
you."
putting that verse down. You like sha na 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 ooh na 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 da 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 ga da 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 ga da da ga da da ga da da you can hear it, and you riding. It's a wave. There's a wave. You can feel it. But I think that artists today, they get a beat. They be like, oh, okay, I like that beat right there. Okay, let me put something to it. Boom. Let me put it out. You can't be popcorn. You can't be a microwave popcorn artist, man,
Can't do
and
it.
have longevity. Because think about it. Think about it. In the last, I say 5, 10 years. Think about the artists that have come up in the hip hop genre, young artists that the record labels pushed the big boys, pushed them into success. You don't hear about them now. You don't hear about them now. Why? Because the record label pushed them to make money off of them. This is a business, people. The record label pushed them to make money off of them, and then discarded them once that record sales went down, and they didn't come up with another hit, or you say another what the quote said, another hit. The record
Yeah,
label discarded them. So hey, think about it. Microwave popcorn gets stale.
very fast.
Look look at it that way. Microwave popcorn gets really stale. So if you look at microwave popcorn compared to cooking a nice ribeye or porterhouse steak with onions, mushrooms, a little red wine, you getting that sauce together. Microwave popcorn, ribeye steak. There's no comparison.
Where my steak at? Where my steak at?
So that's
Uh,
the difference in the longevity.
yeah,
You
definitely.
know, right. So I believe in pushing artists to longevity. I believe in, if an artist comes to me, I'm already thinking, okay, if this is what you want to do, this is what you have to do. If you want longevity, any artist that I worked with, whether I was managing or when I was with 1017 Brick Squad, I wanted them to have longevity. I wanted people to be talking about them long after they've decided to resign or retire or fall back or whatever. I wanted their music to last and to resonate. Hell, to this day, people still talk about Gucci. People
Yeah.
still talk about Waka. People still about 2 weeks ago, I was at the red light. I was at the red light, and these females jumped out the car. They were listening to Soldier Boy and jumped out the car. Now that song ain't been out in 15 years. They jumped out the car and was doing and was doing the Soldier Boy. We talking about 15 years because why? Because that was resonating with them. Soldier Boy made his mark. Period. Gucci, Waka made their mark. So that's what I believe in. I believe in longevity, leaving a legacy, in everything that I do. To be honest, everything that I've done in the music business, with artists, with myself, with my own music, I do it to build a legacy because I don't want to be gone from this. I don't want to be going off this rock and people just say, "Man, you know what? He was nice. He was nice. He was a good person." Hell no, that's too simple. And I've never been a simple kind of person. I want them to be like, "Man, let me tell you something. Omar or Outlaw, boy, he was the shit. Boy, hey, I remember he came out with this song. I remember he was working with Queen Sheba, and he was managing Queen Sheba, and she hell, Queen Sheba is a legend. I remember when he was with 1017 Brick Squad, and he was doing this and this, that, and the other. I want someone to have something substantial to say about me when I'm gone.
Yeah.
That's building that legacy. I want
Definitely.
people to be able to look back, get on YouTube, get on whatever. I want people to be able to look back and see this interview and be like, "Man, Omar was dropping gems, boy. Omar had something to say. He a little crazy, but he had something to say." I'm just saying.
Omar, thank you so much for being on the show. You did drop a lot of gems. I think a lot of people have a lot of things to think about. Just don't jump into having a record label or doing these things without taking the necessary steps. And these are some of the necessary steps. I am sure that if you go to the Instagram that's in the corner, we do have a QR code. We're also going to have the link in the description box below so that you can go ahead and follow Omar and check out his steps and what he's doing today. Omar, thank you so much for being on the show, for taking this time out of the day. I appreciate you so much.
Look, I appreciate you. The vibe, hey, the vibe is awesome. And when you have that chemistry and that connection, it's nothing but it's nothing but love. It's nothing but love. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Queen.
Well, thank you so much.
I
And
do.
thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to follow Omar on his Instagram page. He also has a Facebook, and I'm sure you can get to that. And he does have his own shoe brand. So, I'm sure it's entertaining. I haven't seen it. But knowing Omar, it is crazy. I know it is. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. Until next time, guys. Bye.
Squad up.